The Concorde crash, 2000, the end of the supersonic dream. On July 25, 2000, the world's only supersonic airliner, the Concorde, taxied onto the runway at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. For 25 years, this engineering marvel had flown the rich and famous across the Atlantic at twice the speed of sound without a single fatal accident. But as Air France Flight 4590 roared down the runway, a trail of fire erupted from its wing. 2 minutes later, the plane slammed into a hotel, killing 113 people and effectively grounding the dream of supersonic commercial flight forever. The titanium strip. The disaster began with an object so small it was almost invisible. Minutes before the Concorde took off, a Continental Airlines DC-10 had departed on the same runway. It shed a small, 43-centimeter strip of titanium alloy, a wear strip from its engine cowl that had been improperly attached. This jagged piece of metal sat unnoticed on the tarmac, waiting for the Concorde's wheels to run it over at 200 miles per hour. The tire explosion. As the Concorde accelerated for takeoff, its front left tire struck the titanium strip. The tire didn't just puncture, it disintegrated explosively. A massive chunk of rubber, weighing 4.5 kilograms, was hurled upward into the underside of the aircraft's left wing. The impact was so violent that it created a shockwave through the fuel tank located inside the wing. The fireball and engine failure. The shockwave caused the fuel tank to rupture from the inside out. Jet fuel poured out at a rate of liters per second and immediately ignited, likely sparked by severed landing gear wiring. A massive plume of flame trailed the aircraft as it lifted off the ground. The fire choked the engines on the left side, causing them to lose power. The pilots, fighting a losing battle with a burning, underpowered aircraft, tried desperately to reach the nearby Le Bourget Airport. The crash at Gonesse. The plane never made it. Unable to gain altitude or speed, the Concorde stalled and crashed into the Hotelissimo in the town of Gonesse, exploding on impact. All 109 people on board and 4 people on the ground were killed instantly. The crash was the first fatal accident in the Concorde's history, shattering its pristine safety record and shocking a world that viewed the plane as the pinnacle of human aviation achievement. The end of an era. The crash grounded the entire Concorde fleet for over a year while fuel tanks were reinforced. But when the plane returned to service in late 2001, the world had changed. The aviation industry was reeling from the September 11th attacks, and the high maintenance costs and fuel consumption of the aging Concorde made it economically unviable. In 2003, British Airways and Air France retired the fleet. The crash in Paris was the beginning of the end, marking the moment humanity stepped back from supersonic speed. Conclusion. The Concorde was a masterpiece of engineering defeated by a simple piece of road debris. It reminds us that in aviation, even the most advanced machines are only as safe as the runway beneath them. Do you think supersonic travel will ever return? Let me know in the comments below.